Jean-Claude Van Damme needs no introduction. He has been a force in the action film scene since the 80s, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. This summer, the Muscles from Brussels returns for another round in the thrilling martial arts movie The Last Mercenary. The star brings all of the signature moves that made him such an international superstar, as well as a few new ones to the action comedy film. The French-language movie features Van Damme as Richard Brumaire, a former Secret Service agent now working as an in-demand mercenary who's known only as the Mist, thanks to his ability to disappear into thin air to get the job of the day done. Due to his high-profile status, Brumaire secured immunity for his son Archibald over 2 decades ago. But once that protection is unexpectedly lifted and Archibald's life is threatened by the Mafia, Brumaire must step in to save his son, even if the kid has no idea who his father is or why he's been absent from his life up to that point. As Brumaire assembles an eclectic new team, he finds that he's in for a fight like none other when his foes close in. That's where Van Damme's extreme martial arts skills come into play in a big way. There are many awesome fight scenes that show off Van Damme's impressive talent in The Last Mercenary, but there's one scene in particular that shows why his character's enemies should never try to take him on. Throughout his blockbuster career, Van Damme has become one of the most recognizable and respected action heroes of all time, thanks in no small part to the fact that he brings his formidable real-life fighting skills to the big screen. The man has a black belt in karate, and he's competed in full-contact kickboxing competitions. Fans of the actor would be hard-pressed to pick a favorite among his films, because he's got so many cinematic wins under his belt, including Kickboxer, Bloodsport, Time Cop, Universal Soldier, Street Fighter, and Hard Target, just to name a few.
And I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it.
In The Last Mercenary, Van Damme gets a chance to remind audiences exactly why he's still such a top-tier talent of the genre. At first, his character uses some very creative evasion skills to keep his unusual team out of harm's way, and to make good on his nickname, of course. But despite some ingenious efforts to pull off an undercover operation, he eventually finds himself face-to-face with danger once the stakes are raised even higher. Even though Brumaire is outnumbered and lacks the kind of weaponry that might easily win him a fight, he's still an absolute force to be reckoned with, and he makes his opponents pay for even trying to test him. Things come to a head when Brumaire and Archibald are caught trying to impersonate the Scarface-obsessed criminal who's been stealing Archibald's identity as a cover for a dangerous weapons exchange. After the father and son duo's plan to buy the so-called Big Mac device and catch the sellers in their international terrorism scheme goes south, Brumaire must engage in some good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat with the goons. Or make that foot-to-foot combat, because though Brumaire has little more than a terrible costume wig to work with, he still has a mean kick, something no Van Damme character is complete without. And while introducing his foot to their faces isn't enough to fully stop the villains, it does buy Brumaire enough time to come up with more inventive fight maneuvers. Since the fight takes place in a neon-soaked game room, there are plenty of toys that can be used as deadly weapons. From a boxing bag to stray billiard balls, this rumpus room is filled with objects that the resourceful Brumaire can use to his advantage. Between his sweeping kicks, gnarly jabs, and a few unexpected weapons, Brumaire gets the better of the squad of attackers almost all by himself, even if he takes a few bowling pins to the noggin along the way.
Second ball.
Eventually, his team jumps into the action to secure the payload, but Brumaire doesn't quit serving up some pain to his attackers. By the end of the fight, nary a strand of his fake hair is out of place. Throughout the entire scene, we're reminded of all of the ways Jean-Claude Van Damme can manipulate his environment to hold his own against his enemies, no matter how many there are or how few weapons he has at his disposal. Simply put, we wouldn't bet against him in a fight, and we certainly wouldn't want to be on his bad side. Thanks for watching. Click the links in our video to watch more from Netflix Film Club. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest exclusive videos. Plus, hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.